Hi, good afternoon to everyone. I want to say Happy New Year. So nice to have you on our training for our first training for 2021. And we'll be doing the AGAFERT line today. I'm going to ask you, I want to find out where our farmers are from today. So I'm going to ask each person in the chat to just send me the parish that you're from. So I have an idea where the farmers that we are talking to today are from. So your presenter today is Dane Parker from the Central Region. He's our product development agronomist from the Central Region. So without any further ado, I'm going to ask Mr. Parker to.
Thank you, Georgia. Good afternoon, everyone.
Parker, just give me 1 minute. Let me link YouTube. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome everyone. Hope everyone is keeping safe. Happy to know that you would have crossed over the threshold to have been in 2021. As we say at Akem Plant, let's grow your yields. Let's continue to be in the field and to be as productive as we can. Do remember to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to our various platform pages, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And of course, do share the information as you go and of course, practice accordingly. Now, today we'll be talking about fertilizers. And of course, not all fertilizers are the same. And in so, we would have, of course, explored all the possibilities and to ensure that we're getting the very best product to deliver to our valued customers, you, our farmers, and to ensure that when you do what needs to be done in your field, you're getting the amazing results that you ought to be getting. And so we'll be covering pretty much the essentials of fertilizers here today. We'll be looking at our AGAFERT line of fertilizers. We'll be looking at its compositions and of course the benefits of doing this. And in so too, we're looking at the different field work that we've been doing. Now, our AGAFERT line of fertilizers pretty much are the newest line that we have on the market. We would have looked at the best possible sources of raw material, which are totally water soluble. The formulations are geared towards reaching the plant at the various crop stages of development. It's out of Italy, and of course, the quality is, of course, paramount. And the strategy here now is that we can apply them both foliarly as well as via fertigation. So we have one line that is catered for our drip irrigation setup, and we have another line that is catered for soluble. So you'll hear me speak of Ager Leaf, which is of course the product that is applied to the leaves of the plant via your knapsack sprayers or your garden pans, whether you're in a nursery operations or you're doing a greenhouse or you're in open field. We have a fertigation product, which is called Agassi. Now then, the Ager Leaf based fertilizer is carbonate free, chloride free, and of course, these contaminants will of course prevent minerals from being taken up, and at the same time, they also can cause some amount of scorching. Now, the idea here is to find a quality product that is compact, meaning it has both macronutrients, meaning the NPK ratios or the larger nutrients, as well as micronutrients. But not only that, we ensure that the product also contains a wetting agent. Now, why is this so, farmers? The wetting agent allows for better absorption and better utilization of the product in the plant leaves. And so here and now, the crop will respond in a timely manner that would see you wanting to grow more vegetables or grow more in your nursery operations or ornamentals be it, and you'll see faster response time. So there's no lag phase in the application. So your Ager Leaf line is applied as a foliar application. Now it comes in three main types. You have one is called a Root Max, you have Nutrimax, and you have Green Max. Now, of course, the Root Max, as the name suggests, is a formulation that is so built to give you a high amount of phosphorus. And of course, phosphorus here is responsible for root development, hence the name Root Max. And of course, there's a balanced formulation that is geared towards throughout the crop life or for segmented periods. And of course, there is a Leaf Max or Green Max rather, that is a 30-10-10. Now, if you notice, farmers, the formulations are geared to be applied at different stages of the crop cycle. Or if you're in nursery or if you're doing an ornamental horticulture setup. Now, let's look at them individually so we understand how they are applied and how they are used. Now, here we did some demonstrations, of course, with Root Max. Now, pretty much, Root Max serves to build the root system of the plant. The 50% phosphorus, along with the trace elements, are geared towards allowing for better root mass development. Now, if you look at the various treated versus control images, you'll recognize that once the product is applied, then all you're getting is excellent root mass, which of course allows for better uptake of nutrients, and of course the plant will grow and maximize its true potential. Remember, farmers, the best quality seed with the best quality farming practice is what gives you the ideal results. Now, Root Max can be applied at 1 to 3 kg per hectare, or that is 2.4 acres. And of course, you can use that in a 200 or 300 liters of water. Or to simply put, 4 teaspoons per gallon. So depending on the scale at which you're working, you have a product that can be utilized. Now, your attention to the left, the right of the screen rather, where we did a simple application or drenching to show the kind of takeoff that you would have with the plant. Now, the treated plant on the right, of course, on the left is of course taller. But if you look at the root mass rather, which is here, you'll notice that the roots are white, they are actively growing, and it is actually pulling up the root mass or the seed trays even better. Similarly to the other products, to the other treated ones, they have a higher percentage of fibrous roots, which of course will give you that rapid uptake. But it doesn't stop there. We went even further. We did a post-transplant application. So once you plant out the seedling, let's see what Root Max will do to like a pepper or a tomato. Now you would note the seedling that I had to pull up to show you this kind of result. Now this is 2 going on 3 weeks after the farmer would have been drenching. Now the strategy here is what we call a kickstart program. Now farmers, once you have rapid root development, what really happens to the crop is you have a uniform level of growth and development. Pretty much all the plants will be doing the same thing right throughout the crop, the field. So you don't see one plant looking stunted and the other one big and putting on fruits or peppers or tomatoes or blossoming, and the other ones are still lagging behind. Now the strategy with your Kickstart program is to use Root Max with Fertilizer Ultra and carbendazim. Why use these other 2 products? Now the Fertilizer Ultra is providing humic as well as fulvic acids, and it's also building the plant's ability and the soil's ability to release those nutrients that are there. The carbendazeme's function is to prevent any sort of damping off that would occur. So you're protecting the roots from any fungal attack. You're allowing your root mass and your soil to give up the nutrient that is present, and you're also feeding a fertilizer at the same time. This, of course, is 3 weeks after we would have transplanted out these seedlings. And if you look at the excellent root formation that is occurring here, the plants would have been uniform in size, in shape, and of course, development. Now, we took root max on into leafy vegetables, and we applied it via the drip system or via foliar, just to see what would have really occurred. Now, the field on the right being the treated one, and the field on the left, the bed on the left rather, being the control plot. What does that mean? It means that that is a plot that either for a formulation which is similar to root max, or it would have been the farmer's own practice. Now, if you note carefully, the plants are uniform in development right throughout the root max treated area. Are you seeing that, farmers? I hope you're doing so. Now, if you note on the left-hand side, the control area, which of course was a 50-10 product, sold locally here just the same, that would have been applied with the same strategy. Same quantities are as the manufacturer would have recommended. Now, if you notice, there are varying size of lettuce. Why is this so? Remember I said to you earlier that the Ager Leaf brand contains wetting agent, and it also is chloride, sodium, and carbonate free. This is the reason you have this level of uniform development. In other words, you're putting down nutrients that can be absorbed by the plant versus a chemistry that needs to literally goes back to the drawing board. Here again, we looked at green max, which is another chemistry. Now, the formulation here is 30, 10, and 10. And all these, of course, comes with trace elements. It can be used in various crops, such as your pak choy, your lettuce, your spinach, or even cantaloupe. Now, after you have applied root max, you can continue your long-term crop with green max or even your vegetables. So 1 or 2 applications of root max, and then you switch over to green max. Again, they are so designed to be applied at the various stages of the crop cycle. Now, the bed on the left-hand side would have been so treated foliarly with green max as compared to a similar locally formulated product on the right-hand side. Same 30-10-10 plus trace elements, but note keenly the different result you would have gotten. So remember I said to you earlier, farmers, not all fertilizers are the same. They might have the same formulation, but it comes down to one single word: quality. And that's what we put out here at Alchem Plant Limited. Cost-effective products that can give you the kind of results you need. So after you would have transplanted, you can apply your leaf max. The application is similar to that of your root max, which is 20 grams or 4 teaspoons per gallon. So depending on the size area that you're going to be applying it, it can be done. Of course, in your blue barrel, you can apply 1 to 2 kgs, and that of course can be applied over a wide area, which is up to a hectare of land, 2.5 or 2.4 acres. Now we went further with root max with this bed, and we wanted to see how well the chemistry would work. And of course, at day 14 or 14 days after they would have been transplanted, the treated area was developing further. And I mark these areas with sticks so you, the farmer, can benefit from and appreciate the information that is being given out. Now, this is approximately green marks area is approximately 2 times in terms of leaf area. So we sat down, we stood there and we counted the number of leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing for the control plot. And what we observed is that we were at least 2, sometimes 3 times ahead of the growth and development with a similar chemistry, which is a 30, 10, 10, and trace elements. I hope you're following thus far, farmers, and I hope you're enjoying the presentation. Now, this is 28 days after we would have transplanted the same stick. Can anyone tell me what would have occurred here? What are we seeing here? What would have transpired that would have resulted in this spot being black as compared to the control area? The lettuce would have been growing so fast that the farmer would have been able to harvest from this area and market. So when you use these products, you're coming to market even faster. 28 days after transplant is actually what? 7, 4 is 28. So this is pretty much 1 month going, or less than a month after they would have been planted out. This is lettuce growing at that stage. Now, if you notice, there are some other lettuce to the edges of the picture. Those are also ready. So if he wanted, he could have dug a little bit deeper. The other day when he was selling for various prices, he would have gotten these out with quick ease because the heads would have been ready. And when I say ready, it's not just leaves, it's actually rolling or folding like cabbage. So that's what would have occurred. Now we went even further and we used green marks in other areas and of course other parishes. And the goal, of course, is to look at how these chemistries work across the length and breadth of Jamaica. So my other fellow agronomists from our chem plant would have been doing similar field work at the same time. Now, this is a 14-day time lapse, and of course, the product would have been applied foliarly, and then this is 14 days later with some excellent uniform heads that are developing. Now, when I take the other picture, which is next week, Monday, I'll of course share it on our different platforms so you can have the opportunity to see the kind of development I'm referring to here. Now then, for our other product in the same Ager Leaf line, which is Nutrimax. Again, we took it to the nursery operators, same 20-20-20 plus trace element. But as I said to you earlier, not all fertilizers are the same. And so the Nutrimax treated plants, you see the leaf area, this type of development that is occurring, as opposed to the competitor, same 20-20-20 plus trace element, slightly yellow and much shorter. To the extreme left of the images, which is it has the 2 peppers here, you can see the difference in terms of the growth and development, the internodal shape. And if you notice too, I just realized it, the root mass on the competitor one broke off. So while we were pulling it from the tray, taking it out of the tray, the roots were not holding the lower half of what was in the seedling tray, as opposed to here where you have the entire root mass coming out all at once, which is showing that the root would have so entwined around the root, the germination medium, that it would have been able to be removed from the seed tray. So you're getting larger plants, bigger leaf area, and of course, they are growing healthy and strong. Now then, we shift our focus to the other product in the line. Remember, I told you about Ager Leaf. Now we're going to be talking about Agassi. Now, the Agassi, of course, is a formulation that contains your micro and your macro elements, but this product is used as a fertigation product. So you run it through your drip system. Like your Ager Leaf, the Agassi is chloride free, carbonate free, and it is also what you call free flowing. There are times when you open a bag of fertilizer and it is clumped together, the grains are hard to dissolve, the formulation is just hard to handle. Not in the case of the Agassi line of fertilizers. It comes as 3 formulations currently, which is our 10, 5, 40 with your trace element. You have a 20, 20, 20 with trace element, and you have a 9, 18, 36 plus 2% magnesium as well as trace elements. Now, another reason why it comes chloride and carbonate and sodium free is when you are making your fertilizer stock solution, or if you're making your fertigation product to be placed in your field, if the water has contaminants and your fertilizer contains any of these impurities, when you start to run it through your drip lines, those lines are going to be blocked simply because the quality of the nutrient, it forms another salt, and those salts clog your drip system pretty much. With our Agassi line, we made sure to have a formulation that would prevent this from happening from the very onset. Let's look at our 10, 5, 40. Now, just a quick note before we get to that.
No, I see nothing, you know, if you hear me.
You're not seeing the slides? Georgia, if you're listening, can you message the farmer and indicate to him how to see what is happening? Now then, the AGAFERT soluble fertilizers are so geared towards developing the crop at a faster rate with better structure, both in terms of root mass, your leaf area, as well as to the size of the fruit, as well as bringing it also earlier to market. And so this is another reason, a very valid one, why you should speak to your local representatives to ensure that you have your AGAFERT, Agassi line where you can utilize. Now, the 20-20-20 blend is designed to be used throughout the phenology or throughout the growth stages of the plant, especially during your vegetative period. And this balanced NPK ratio allows for better penetration as well as faster uptake, and of course, ensure that both your root system and your shoot system is growing at equal paces. You don't want to be having a short plant and big root mass. You want to have nice, properly developed root systems so the plant can cope with the stresses of picking up that nutrient and supporting the crop's future development, which is putting out new blossoms, maintaining the different fruits, and of course, managing the different environmental stresses. Now, a key benefit is that it is totally soluble. The pH is low. The electrical conductivity is also low, and it comes built with trace element. Now, these two things, let me just break them down for my farmers. Low pH here means that when you apply this product to your fertigation water, it maintains or buffers it out and brings it to the 6.5 to 5.5 region where the plants better feed. Now, the electrical conductivity side here speaks to the concentration of the salts. Now, you would have seen the results from other crops, and I'm going to show you more later on, where because of the density of the nutrient that is packed into these bags, the EC tends to remain stable, and because the EC is stable, your pH will be stable, and your crop can pick up and feed better. So that's what that thing here is. So both of them directly correlate. Your EC or electrical conductivity and your pH correlate. The concentration of salts as well as at the right pH allows a better uptake and faster growth and better use. And of course, you could not have an NPK mixture without having the right paired trace elements. And note the expression I use, the right paired trace elements. Because, put it this way, the trace element serves as a wheelbarrow to carry your macronutrients through the plant. So if the trace element concentration or the right types are not present, then the formulation, of course, does not benefit the crop. The 10-5-40, which is the second in the series, is designed to apply through the second and third phenological stage, meaning the second and third growth stages. For my watermelon farmers, when you're trying to swell up those watermelons, so to speak, it's more like a crop finisher. Your cantaloupe, your sweet potato at the final stage, when you need that kind of bulking up to occur, where you need size and your bricks or your sweetness. This is the nutrient for you. Now, the combination, of course, is going to be improving the harvest as well as maintaining the shelf life and the quality of the fruits. Now, this, of course, is because of the high concentration of the potassium coupled with your micronutrient that is benefiting the crop. So, crops like your watermelon, your cantaloupe, your carrots, your sweet potato, even cucumbers will benefit from this, because what you'll have is nice staging, excellent color and sizes of your watermelons. And of course, it can be applied through your drip irrigation system at the time when the plant needs this product. Now, the 9-18-36 plus 2% magnesium and trace element, to make this the perfect blend of nutrient or cocktail, all that is needed is to add some calcium nitrate, and if you so desire, depending on the longevity of your crop, increase your magnesium, and you're pretty much good to go. It is designed to be used at that stage when your plant is moving from vegetative into your flowering stage. So just as the plant is switching gears, moving, putting out the blossoms, this is the product that you need. So for my melon farmers, when your crop is about 2 feet, 3 feet going on in and putting out your first set of female flowers, you want to be putting on this. This is what is going to be changing. This is going to be the game changer for you here and now. For persons doing cantaloupe, similar ideology here. Later down, and you can modify it so as to allow for better development in your crop. Now, because of the level of the potassium sulfate that is there, what you're going to be getting also is a rapid uptake of your nutrient. Additionally, this will help with your fruit sizing as well as the staging of the fruits. If you're growing like sweet peppers, ideally you want to have a fruit at least every node, or right in the little forks right there. What this 9-18-36 does is to enhance that and to ensure that the plant sets fruit accordingly. For crops like your watermelon, while you're bulking up, if this product is applied, you're getting larger fruits, better shape, and better consistency throughout the entire field. Now, we did, of course, field work with this chemistry just to make sure that it is what the manufacturer says. And on the
Question, Mr. Presenter.
left-hand side, yes, sir.
You're saying that this fertilizer, it comes with pH, amount of potassium, and also can lower the water pH. So if, for example, I am using a pH, water with pH of 7.8
Yeah.
or 7.9, by just adding this fertilizer, it will take down my pH to 5.5 to 6.
Yeah, because there's a buffering agent built into it. Intentionally so. But we'll have hold that question, and I want to ask this question again at the end of the session because I want to delve deeper into it so the other farmers can benefit from it. All right, sir?
All right, no problem.
Great. All right, so if you look at the peppers again to my left-hand side, and this is a greenhouse in Williamsfield, the plant is setting fruit, and if you notice, you have several fruits. Here you count one in the central fork, and in the other branches there's, and then what you note carefully now is that as the plant is developing further, you have more fruits. Unlike the control plot, which is a competitor formulation, which is pretty much similar, or it was designed to do what it purports. This is what is happening here. The fruit set and sizes are pretty much lower, and what you had was more incidence of abortion of the fruits in the control area as opposed to your treated area. The farmer would have been able to harvest on Sunday of this week, Sunday gone, which is what? Day before yesterday. And these are the results of her harvest. Not sure if Ms. Vassal is online with us just now. If not,
Yeah, she's on, Parker. She's on.
all right. So, Miss, can you just indicate to the other viewers, other participants, what would have occurred if you're hearing Keisha, and outline to them your experience thus far using the fertilizer regime that we have here?
Right. So my name is Keisha Vassal. I'm operating a greenhouse in Williamsfield. And my experience with this Agrol fertilizer has been great. It has given my produce more peppers than previous year, in last year. So these fertilizers, now what it does, it gives the tree a more mature look, as you did see in the picture before, and it gives the tree more fruits. It gives it more fruits on it. And so the blossoms now that comes after the fruits has been holding pretty well. So this fertilizer has been going great. And overall, this fertilizer gives the tree a boost than what it was in previous years. So So this product has been great, is overall good. And I would encourage all farmers to just try it out and see the difference, what it would actually give you.
Did you pick all the peppers this week? Can you harvest next week if you need to?
I can harvest next week if I need to.
And what about the other week and the other week and the other week?
Yes, it has, because the fruit set is the trees are giving me the fruit at the right time, at the right stage for me to pick every week.
Are you noticing any amount of abortion on the blossoms or anything of that sort?
Not much, but you know, the blossoms are holding much than previous times, and so that is why I could able now to pick every week. if I need to.
What about other persons who would have been growing similar crops? How are their greenhouses looking as compared to yours?
Well, my greenhouse is a bit more flourishing. It has more fruits on the trees. The tree is more mature. Compared with other houses, the trees are more smaller. It has less fruits, and the blossoms, not all of them are holding so much well. So this product now does give the tree a more stronger, it gives it some energy and more food and more vitamins. It's just working wonders. So, you know, compared with my house, I would encourage the rest of farmers to try this product.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Vassar.
Yeah.
Now, again, farmers, the formulation and how it is what makes the difference. The 18% phosphorus encourages the continuity in terms of the root development. Without this main engine, the plant can't pick up because the root here fibers die pretty much every 7 to 9 days. So you need to be stimulating the plant to produce that fibrous root to pick up this 36% potassium. Because magnesium is also playing an impact, the trees are more vigorous. If the plants are greener, then what you have is a greater level of photosynthesis. If you have greater levels of photosynthesis, then what you'll also have is greater production, in this case, sweet peppers. Now, also understand that the trace element combination is also very rich, high quality. So the plants are better able to assimilate or to take up or to absorb and utilize the nutrients that are being fertigated through her drip system. And so what she's experiencing is a twofold harvest as compared to her previous crop cycle. Now, there are other fertigation programs out there that would see you buying basic nutrient and then blending. But if that's what you're doing, I would suggest to you to write down those numbers and go back and look to see if you know add up back to the same 9, 18, 36, and then the magnesium and trace element that you're adding to it. What we've done is to take out that guesswork and let you just pick up a bag, apply the right amount to whether it be a 1,000 gallon tank or a 200-liter barrel, and feed your plant. It's as basic as that. No need to be buying 10 different bags of fertilizers now to be blending for yourself to then apply. The formulation is so geared to meet the plant at the various target sizes. And of course, you can see the quality fruits, you can see the quality harvest. We're talking about 5 crates here as compared to, all right, you can count and I can count. Now, farmers, another product in the line is that completes the line. So we have Ager Leaf, we have Agassi, and we have Agassi. This is now the added product that completes the trifecta of chemistries from AGAFERT fertilizers. Now, Agassi is an amino acid-based product that can be applied whether it be through your drip system or foliar. So the plant can pick it up either way. Now, if you were to apply it through your drip irrigation, you'll get a similar vigor and excitement out of your crop because of the minerals that comes with it, the added vitamins that are there, and the various enzymes that are going to be increasing the metabolic cycle of your plant. Again, farmers, if your plants are able to better feed, then what you'll have is a higher level of production, more tubers, better roots, broader leaves, better fruit set, higher levels of flowering, and flower retention. Now, Agassi also gives you the ability to withstand the various climatic factors or stress, whether it be drought or whether it be heavy wind, as in the farmers in the southern parts, or the excess warmer days or added rainfall that is there. It is also preventing or reducing oxidation of the cells, which of course, and here we're talking about a breakdown of the cellular structure of the plant. So rather than that happening, the cell walls are more rigid, the plant can survive, those cells can live for a longer period of time, which is providing energy to the plant. This, of course, is going to convert into a better result in terms of fruit set efficiency. What does this mean? You saw it in the sweet peppers. Ms. Vassal just spoke of it a while ago. Fruit set is what is important, be it in watermelons, in cantaloupe, or tomatoes. You need to have fruits, and that's what you're going to be taking to market. More of those are going to be there in better quality. The other factor now is the signal it sends to the plant to say, withstand insect pests that are also present in the field. So you're getting a wide cross-section of what you call improved resistance from the plant. Remember I said to you earlier, and I'm hoping you heard it, the farmer's goal is to bring out the genetic potential of that seed. And the AGAFERT line of products will help you to do that. Increase photosynthesis as well as better utilization of your nutrient. Now, I mentioned one way, here's how you can use it. For leafy vegetables, 2 or 3 applications are good enough. And what you'll get is a rapid growth, bigger leaves, and faster turnaround in the production area. For your vining crops, it is applied at 1 application at the 3rd week. What is happening at the 3rd week of the plant's growth and development? Flowering. So whether it be your cucumber, your watermelon, your cantaloupe, at your 3-week mark, even with your sweet peppers, what you're getting is flower initiation. And the application of Agassi, what it does now is to encourage that activity as well as to support the mechanisms that allow for that to occur. Meaning reduction in stress as well as improvement in the crop growth. It can be applied, as I said to you earlier, in the greenhouses at 10 to 15 days, whether it be pre-flowering, during the flowering stages, or as well as when your fruits are sizing up. In your fertigation water with your 9-18-36, you can apply anywhere from 500 to 750 milliliters of Agassi in 1,000 gallons and send it through your drip lines, and the plant will pick up and benefit from that process. Now, should you have, which is the second application, way to use Agassi, should you have issues with virus, meaning that you are seeing your watermelons coming down and the trips are bothering it because the temperatures are warm and the leaves are getting misshapen, or if you have tomatoes and you're seeing issues with your different viruses, Agassi can be used along with green stem, magnesium plus or bio 20, and these are applied at the first signs of the issue. Now, what does this do to the plant? It signals to the plant to grow out of the condition, that's 1. And 2, it reduces the incidence of the virus actually stunting the plant. Some amount of applications are needed, at least 3 applications, and this of course will improve your crop growth and vigor. Now then, as we come to a close, a quick recap. Agassi, or why choose the Ager Leaf line of fertilizer? Because of the wetting agent that is there, the quick response time, as well as the uniform development of the crop. Why choose your Agasol line? 100% chloride, sodium and carbonate free, and you have a product geared towards targeting the various stages of the crop. And finally, why choose Agassi? Improve crop stress resistance, as well as the formulation is a pure mixture which allows for maximum efficacy. I'm sure
Parker, there are 2 questions in the chat.
Okay. Can you just read them for me, please?
At what stage do you use this fertilizer on your sweet pepper? I think they asked that question when we were talking about agasol. And is this only for sweet pepper?
If you're referring to the agasol line, then it is pretty much broad-based. If you're referring to the 9-18-36, remember now there are 3 products in the agasol line. The Nutrimax, that's the 2020 product. You have the 10-5-40, and you also have the 9-18-36. These can be applied to a wide range of plants. You name it, it can be applied. If you are using drip irrigation on even lettuce, it can be used just the same. We have a formulation and we can show you how to tweak the product so as to benefit. So not just, so to answer the first part, it can be used throughout the crop cycle, that's 1. And 2, the formulations are geared towards all types of crops. What was the other question, please? Georgia?
At what stage?
Oh, no, man. I think I would have answered that. It can be used throughout of the crop cycle. All right. So, to the question, my good listener and participant had asked earlier, in terms of the buffering capacity of the fertilizers. That's a technical term. What it really does is to bring down or adjust the pH so that the plant can pick it up. So if the water is hard, meaning that it has impurities, it can soften the water. Good. If the pH is off, then what it can also do is to bring down that pH to an acceptable means where the plant can pick up that nutrient. Are there any further questions?
Parker, can Agassi be used as a preventative treatment rather than react to a condition?
Certainly. And forgive me for not having said this to you farmers. Remember I said to you, your goal is to bring out the true genetic potential. Ideally, you don't want to be in a reactive mode. So yes, it can be applied as a preventative rather than to be in a reactive manner. This, of course, will benefit you now from that increased plant stress tolerance that I mentioned earlier, which would, of course, ward off any of these things from occurring through the growth cycle of the plant. So in this warm condition, farmers, let's say you would have been, you're planting tomatoes, I'm seeing where popping up in and about, you have a little bit of leaf miners showing up in tomatoes pretty frequently. The application of Agassi with your other choice of insecticide like a cure or your caprid builds the plant response, which is one, you're preventing the insect from spreading, and two, you're also building the plant's resistance to the detriment of a damaged leaf surface. Let me hope that you would have understood what I just said in terms of, so you want to reduce the stress factor and you want to also kill or limit or reduce the insect pest population at the time when you would have observed it. Any other questions? And do remember that we have product development agronomists across the length and breadth of Jamaica. We are paired, so we have a technical sales personnel who is also knowledgeable. And should you contact us at our front desk, we have persons in the form of our telesales rep who are also pretty much armed with information, ready to answer your various questions. And should we be, for some strange reason, unable to answer that question, we will get on it, do the literature review, and get back to you in the shortest possible time with the answers that you so require. And so in the...
Parker?
Yes?
There's a question. How often can you apply Agasol? And also, so when should Agassi be applied?
All right, so now, for your, depending on the crop, let me answer the first. No, depending on the crop. So be it leafy vegetables or vining crops, you can apply it at least 2 to 3 times throughout the crop stages. So in your vegetative state or for your leafy vegetables to improve that leaf area, if it's a root crop, just as about you would have planted out, and at the same time when you see tuber initiation starts, for your vining crops like your cantaloupe, your cucumber, your watermelons, it's at week 3, week 4, and week 7 you can apply it, because you want to increase the possibility of your number of female flowers to male, so as to allow for better levels of pollination as well as higher levels of your fruit set. In terms of your Agasol fertilizers, once you're running a drip formulation, normally 2 to 3 times per week is sufficient. What I normally do is to recommend 2 to 3 times, or you can go up to 4 times. The other days, you can apply water so as to reduce the buildup of your nutrients in your soil. Or for some farmers, what they do is to feed a smaller quantity over a period of time, which is you feed a smaller quantity every day, so that you don't have a nutrient loss from your soil, or say you're running a hydroponic system. You always have nutrients right there. And of course, these fertilizers can be used if you're doing hydroponics, farmers. If you're doing whether it be nutrient film or your deep water culture, we have various formulations that we can share that would show you how to apply. And be it, you name the crop, we can design the fertigation program so as to meet your needs. I trust that I answered that question for you. All right, so as I was saying earlier, we have various agronomists. So Dennis Lecky is in the northeastern side, and he covers St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. There's John O. Johnson also in the eastern side that covers St. Catherine, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. In the western side, you have, which is northwest, you have Dale Smith, which covers Hanover, St. James, and Trelawney. And in the north-southern side, you have Sion Spence, and he covers Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. And yours truly covers Clarendon and Manchester. So should you be in need of technical guidance and assistance, feel free to reach out to us. Our contact numbers are, of course, our home office, 757-002-2224. And you can always message us on our various platform. We will respond. And feel free, of course, and I ask that you join in on this and every Wednesday on Power 106 from 6:15 through to 6:45 as we share also other strategies how we can grow our farming business in this 2020 and beyond. Should you also, I'd like to also invite you back to join us again with another Zoom training session. And this is on Tuesday the 19th at 1 p.m. We'll be looking at Miller and Omics soluble fertilizers. These are foliar products that you can apply. And our agronomist for that afternoon will be John Johnson, who covers, as I mentioned to you, the southeastern side. So continue to be safe, continue to join us and to participate in the various information. Yes, Georgia.
Remember the giveaway question.
Oh, certainly. So farmers, there are two products that I would want to be sharing with you at this time so as to allow you to benefit from the line of products we have here. So now, I wonder if you're ready. And of course, you're going to be responding via your chat, right, Georgia?
That's correct.
So the first person who would have responded accordingly would have been better, well, will be considered the recipient of one of our two prizes for this afternoon. So now, the question asks thus: identify one of the formulations that is geared towards proper leaf development in your vegetable crop. So which of the lines that we discussed today would have allowed for your leaf development in your vegetable crop? Feel free to respond to the
in the chat so far, Parker, we have Susie Harris saying Agasol, Kenil Barrett saying Ager Leaf, Green Max from Ager Leaf.
All right, so the second person
is that? Yes, the person
of this product. And of course, when you use the product, remind me of his name again, please. The name of
Kenil Barrett.
Kenil Barrett. When you use the product, of course, do share the results with us. Keep it to yourself, right? You know, tag us to your different platform and share your results, whether you're putting it on whichever crop. You know, share the results with us as you enjoy using your product. So then, question number 2. Question 2, are you ready, farmers? Identify for me, please, the ideal formulation that can be used in your open field or your drip system throughout the life of the crop. So there's one.
That's defined by 1836 plus MgO plus TE. Did they get that?
I sure did. I sure did. Georgia,
We have a winner.
we have bright students here.
That's one of your farmers, Parker.
So before the teacher asks a question, the student answer. Well, thank you for participating. Excellent response. Timely too, in a manner of this. Again, farmers, I encourage us to be safe, to join us on another occasion as we continue to learn more about this, our business of farming, and to let's grow, let's improve our livelihoods, let's grow. I mean, that sums it up so eloquently. Let's grow, let's continue to grow, let's pick up on where we left off in 2020 and go beyond that as we continue to raise our banners higher. Thank you for participating, and see you next time.
All right, big up yourself, see man.
Thank you.